Hello and a very warm welcome to you from the Stadium Negara Sultan Hassan Al Bolkiah Stadium in Bandar Seri Begawan, the capital of Brunei, as DPMM take on Tampines Rovers. This is the first game of the new season for DPMM in the Singapore Premier League. You will recall, of course, a couple of weekends ago they were supposed to play in the season opener, the traditional season opener, the Community Shield, against Tampines Rovers, their opponents tonight. But because of the ongoing coronavirus situation, they were not able to travel to Singapore and so had to pull out of that match. And Hougang United very sportingly came in very late notice to fill in. So this will be the first meeting then of these two sides, and of course they are early pre-season or pre-tournament favourites as well. DPMM, the defending champions, having won the SPL 2019 by 6 points ahead of their opponents tonight. And the two teams then just making their way onto the pitch in this stadium, which for those of you, of course, who can cast your minds back, just has more than a shade of similarity to the old Kallang National Stadium back in the day. It does bring you back a little bit when you're sitting in here. Well, DPMM will be raring to go. Before the match, I got to speak to Adrian Pennick, their coach. He's excited, and interesting to hear him talk as well, where he was, I think, playing a few mind games, trying to put the pressure on the other side, saying he doesn't feel the pressure at all. He says, I don't think we can necessarily defend our title this year. It's going to be hard, very hard to defend titles. And he's saying the Singapore teams have strengthened. They're allowed extra foreign players now. DPMM themselves have changed things up a little bit this year, and it's a bit of a head-scratcher. You'll see what I mean when we look at the team list very shortly indeed with their selection. And there we go, the DPMM side, and you'll notice a new man between the sticks, Emerson Conceição, the Brazilian. He's a 37-year-old goalkeeper from Londrina in Brazil. He comes in for Wardun Yusuf, who's been the captain stalwart of DPMM for a very long time indeed. And well, there was talk that he might retire. He said he will retire at the end of this season. We'll wait to see if that indeed does happen. But Emerson comes in. There's also a debut for Hanif Farhan, the youngster who's come up through the youth ranks. They've lost Blake Richudo as well, the Australian, but they've retained Charlie Clough, the defender, and of course the last season's top scorer, Andrei Voronkov from Belarus. Tampines Rovers, well, they've had to contend with injuries and suspensions. And talking of suspensions, by the way, I must add that DPMM also will not have the services of Abdul Muis Sisa. And suspensions on Tampines Rovers side is Yasser Hanapi. He is serving out the second of his massive 6-match ban from indiscretions of last year, handed down by the disciplinary committee in 2019. So he's not available, the captain. And also two changes from the side that beat Ballistic Khalsa in the last round of matches, as Huzaifa Aziz and Irwan Shah come in for Kyoga Nakamura, who the playmaker is on the bench. He took a knock in that game against Balestier, as did Madhu Mohana. And real concerns for Tampines Rovers ahead of their AFC Cup match in just a few days' time. And they've got lots of games coming thick and fast, 7 games in the next 3.5 weeks. Speaking to Gavin Lee before this match, he was saying that, yeah, it was good to have these last few days. It'll be the longest break they'll have in the next month or so, as they have all those matches coming up. But he has got concerns about the toll it's taking on his players. So, a lot of people already billing this as a battle between two of the top teams in the SPL 2020. Certainly, having watched a lot of Tampines this season, they've had plenty of games. It's been a good start to the season for them. in both international competition and in domestic play as well. They will kick things off here. So here we have Mehmedovic kicking off for Tampines Rovers and Jordan Webb on the ball. As a lot has been made of the fact that this was a fortress for DPMM. Voronkov chasing down the ball, trying to put pressure on Shannon Stephen. Amro Ludley is there to clean up. Yes, this was an excellent venue, wasn't it? The Hassan Al Bolkiah Stadium, where DPMM had 12 matches, 10 wins, 1 draw, surprisingly against Young Lions, and a loss against this very team, Tampines Rovers. So I'm sure they'll have a measure of revenge here. They'll want that, if they can, to blot what otherwise would have been an almost perfect record in this venue. Remind you, of course, there is also another game going on today in the SPL. And that is Tanjung Pagar playing Line City Sailors, the team that was formerly known as Home United. We'll keep you up to date with what is going on over there in just a short while. Been a few fouls already, niggly ones. Here's Jordan Webb. And Huzaifa, who is one of the new signings from Balestier Khalsa. Well, we can tell you, the Moneybags Home United, as people are already starting to refer them to, are a goal down to the new guys, the newbies, Tanjung Pagar, who have stunningly taken the lead in the 26th minute through Jan Motta. 1-0 it is at the moment. Well, that is certainly eyebrow-raising, isn't it? Certainly be keeping a close eye on that one. It's been a bit of a scrappy start here in this game. Adrian Pennock, I'm not sure he'll be too bothered by that at the moment, was saying that he wanted to give more youth a chance today, and that includes Hanif Farhan, the number 4 in midfield. Gavin Lee, what a fantastic first season he has had, the youngest ever coach in the SPL. Won the Singapore Cup in his first season, came second in the league. There's more to come, I'm sure, from him. Forward by Emerson, and that, well, all the way back to Shazwan Buhari, who, by the way, had a superb game against Balestier Khalsa. Kept them in it, saved a penalty as well. Shuhei Hoshino. Actually had a couple of saves off Hoshino. Interesting to see how DPMM have lined up here for the goal kick in case they try to play it out. That's up to Kapitovic. Mehmedovic out to Irwan Shah. Well, Jordan Webb seemed to have just misjudged that. To Voronkov, quick throw into him. He's done really well here, Voronkov. Oh, he's cut that back. Great play from the Belarusian. Just waiting for that to drop. It was well struck, but well off the mark from Najib Tarif. Well, that's the first real opportunity of this game, and it's fallen DPMM's way. He was just waiting for that to fall nicely. Jordan Webb annoyed about the decision not to give him a free kick. You'll see that quite a bit from him. He does get quite frustrated. He's a man who does elicit fouls from opponents, does draw fouls from them. Najib has to go all the way back. Emerson, and was just a little too close. Kopitovic was trying to just close him down. Oh, hesitation here. Charlie Clough and Emerson, and they're having a bit of a go at each other. I just see a few little warning signs here that he's a bit nervy, Emerson. Here's Voronkov. He's told his man, past a couple of them, and he's got the corner as well. Bright start from the big man here for DPMM. But just want to draw your attention, going back to Emerson, and Charlie Clough was trying to say, clear the ball. But he looked hesitant, didn't he, the Brazilian? Now, if we're picking up on that, you can bet so are the Tampines players. And also, let's talk about how good and sharp Voronkov has looked already. Well, you've got to have a better corner than that. They've had a bit of luck. It comes back for another go. And it is a Voronkov. Doesn't get the necessary power into the ground, and easy for Shazwan in the end. I think you'll be a little disappointed with that. But it's DPMM who've started the brighter of the two sides, as now Tampines come forward with Joel Chu. Jordan Webb is finding it hard at the moment to get past his man at the moment, who's keeping a close eye on him, Helmi Zembin. Here's Kopitovic. It's done well here, Kopitovic. Tries to play that through. You can see the idea. Emerson this time, not so much hesitation in coming out. Trying to play that out to Jordan Webb, did Kopitovic. Now Helmi Zambin. Helmi again. Joel Chu. Irwan Shah playing out on this left-hand side. Nice play from Joel. Could see what he was looking to do there. Well, you might not be able to see it right now, but there's certainly a mismatch between Najib Tarif and the big man next to him in Kopitovic, keeping a close eye on him. Here's Irwan. Mehmedovic, well kept in by Sharul. Excellent challenge from Sharul. That's surely late. Surely late on Mehmedovic. Now, G. Lechman thought he might give a card, has decided not to Abdulazizi. I think a little talking to is about as good as it's going to get. Joel Chu down the middle at the moment. Shahiran looks for Kopitovic. He's held off his man, I think. Just a little nibble there. Told you he was keeping a very close eye on him. And he's in good form at the moment, Kopitovic. 7 goals in 8 games. This time it was Norik 1. Okay, it's finding it hard. They're playing 5 at the back at times, DPMM. Nicely done by Abdulazizi. As I said, the only time they lost last season was against Tampines Rovers, so they know how to win here. So ball into some space here. Oh, that's offside, but it's the right kind of idea. And it's not the first time we've seen it already in this game. Trying to get that up quickly. Jordan Webb to run onto with his pace. It's a bit more of a direct approach. Well, nothing wrong with sometimes going route one. Here's Emerson. No surprise he's looking for Voronkov. Shannon Stevens' header goes only as far as Shah Shahiran. Comes off him, in fact. And Amr Dudley is in the way. Just showed a little too much of the ball, did Azwan Ali, with that rather expansive haircut of his now. At the moment, you just find that Tampines are struggling at times to get out of their half outside of those long balls forward. Shannon Stephen to Amrul Adli. Mehmedovic trying to work their way into midfield. And it's lost once again. Back with Shannon Stephen though. Now Jordan Webb, he's drifted into this more central area for now. Mehmedovic. Now Irwan Shah just looks up. Huzaifa, haven't seen much of him yet. More measured play. Joel Chu. And that's strong play from Yura. Not sure what the thinking there was from Hendra Azam. He's given the ball away rather carelessly. Jordan Webb. Bit better here from Tampines in the build-up. Joel Chu returns a ball to Webb. Needed a better cross, didn't he? But that has been probably the most promising move we've seen so far from Tampines Rovers in these first 13 minutes. Nice combination there with Joel Chu. Kapitovic and Hanif there just coming together. It's okay. Surely offside on Andrei Voronkov. Right in line with where I'm positioned, so that was easy for me to make that call as well. I think he'll be fairly happy with this so far. Adrian Pennock of the two coaches. Again, through that gap, it's found Jordan Webb this time. He bears down a goal. Well, needed to just put that wider of Emerson, who pulls off a fairly smart save, one you'd expect him to make anyway. But that's the best opportunity so far for Tampines Rovers, and it's certainly something they're looking to do time and time again, to get Jordan Webb using his pace and power to get on the ball. And it worked, almost worked this time. Mehmedovic. Nice ball through to Huzaifa. Still kept in play by Irwan Shah. Into the side netting. It should be, well, it's going to be a corner. So this was that opportunity for Jordan Webb. Well, you give credit to the keeper. Webb perhaps could have put that a little wider if he had to go right across the goalkeeper, and he covered his angles well. Now, first corner for Tampines Rovers. Can they do something here? Referee blew the whistle just before the corner was taken. I think he spotted a little bit of tussling in the box. Not a great corner, not a particularly good clearance. Goes as far as Irwan Shah. Lots of bodies for him to pick out. Mehmedovic. They're trying to close down quickly. Jordan Webb. Just runs into the frame of Yura. Now starting the counter. Azwan Ali. It's a good ball out towards Voronkov, but Shazwan saw the danger. Shashairan. Oh, he's just lost control of that. A little bit careless. A little bit more balance in this game now. Took a bit of time before Tampines to get into it. Back from Lorik 1. Now, Irwan Shah. Nice bit of control there. Hendra Azam, better than he was earlier. One back by Irwan. It's a delightful ball across from Mehmedovic up to Kabinovic. It's a tight angle. And again, keeper gets down well, but it was always going to be hard, wasn't it, for the striker from that kind of angle. Not easy, but again, they're trying to get the ball up to these strikers, the forward players, as quickly as they can. It's a delightful ball. But tough from there. But Emerson's got down well on the couple of occasions that he's been called upon. 37 years young, Emerson Conceição. And that's not a great ball. Apologies from Hanif Farhan, the youngster who's making his debut today, as we mentioned earlier. It's fascinating to see that Nurikwan is the one who's sticking very closely to Kapitovic rather than Charlie Clough, who's their biggest defender. Here is Clough now, who's got a little pressure on him. He's done well. Coming forward, Helmi Zambin. It's just a long, hard look at him from Voronkov, who needed a better ball. Brunei crowd, good to have them, of course, watching football here at this arena. The revamped Brunei Super League has also started. 18 teams now in their top flight, which is a massive number for this tiny country. Double the number of teams that Singapore has in their top flight in the Singapore Premier League. That was not the best challenge, really, from Azwan Ali. Forward again by Mehmedovic. This time the late run coming in from Shashahiran. Well, you can't let the ball bounce over you like that. Leave yourself open to danger, and the pressure was on from Abdulazizi. Cleared away in the end by Amrul Adli. Now Singapore international Amrul, of course. Ball to Vronkov, doesn't make it there. Abdulazizi. Easy for Shazwan. Not a great ball in from Yura. There's Irwan Shah. Huzaifa. Again, you just, every time Mehmedovic gets the ball, you get the impression he's looking, just looking for that option to play up towards the top. And by the way, we have got a goal just towards the end of the first half in Tanjung Pagar, who have returned to the league this year, playing against Lion City Sailors, who the formerly Home United, and the Sailors have pulled one back through Pengeli just before half-time. Here's Jordan Webb. Well, I was going to say, that would have been, what a half that could have been for Tanjung Pagar. To have gone in your first game back against the now richest team in the league, that would have been some achievement. Still plenty of football to go. Hope you're enjoying this coverage here of the Singapore Premier League, wherever you're watching, online, on TV. First time we've ever had every single match televised in a season. Chances, not many in this game. It's half-time, as I said, in that other match. We still are not even halfway through this first half. Of course, later kickoffs in Brunei. This is pretty much dead centre. Hendra Azam making a few little signals there. Looking at the large frame of Charlie Clough. Oh, and he's found the corner. Well, it just floated in, and Shazwan Buhari was rooted to the spot and could only watch in despair as a ball flew in, and DPMM take the lead here through Charlie Clough. The ball was a great one, wasn't it? And DPMM will feel they've had the better proceedings anyway. It was Hendra Azam just floated it in, and surely it would have been the obvious target anyway. It was in between Shannon Stephen and Kapitovic. But he got right between them, and I think they've got to be a little disappointed with that. They surely would have known it was either him or Voronkov would have been the most obvious targets. And it was just floated in, wasn't it? But it is DPMM who have the lead here. That's poor clearance from Clough. Maybe still thinking about his goal. Confirmation of your goal scorer. Voronkov getting in behind, a little too easy. Najib Tarif and away by Shannon Stephen. Sorry, Helmi Zumbin with the ball in. Voronkov wanted the ball early. Again, he's done so well here, Voronkov. Well, it was a cross shot in the end, and perhaps it was just that hesitation from Abdulazizi. Any kind of touch on target, that could well have been goal number 2. Well, Voronkov's been excellent on and off the ball. Turned his men very, very easily on a number of occasions already. Have another look at how he's done this. Far too easily past Huzaifa. He just seemed not sure whether that was a cross or shot in the end. Something in between. A little foul there from Abdulazizi. Here's Webb. Well, that's been yet another foul on the Canadian. He's just drawing these, not just today, but I have to say, throughout this short season already, really annoys him, you can tell. Now, have a look at this challenge. I mean, that's careless, that's a poor challenge, and that should be a card, but none was given. And so that's probably what frustrates Jordan Webb quite a bit. When that kind of thing doesn't get punished, and you can understand why he would be upset about it. Well, they'll have a free kick here now. Try and create some of their own opportunities. Huzaifa to take this. Look out for Kopitovic. Again, that is the obvious man to aim at. He's now got Charlie Clough on him. Got to have a better delivery than that. Away by Azwan Ali. Or try to anyway. Well, they're enjoying themselves, the fans. And why not? DPMM, a goal to the good. Now towards Voronkov. Not a good clearance. But Sharul makes amends. Another foul by Azwan. Quick ball out again. Webb should get there. Out to Joel Chu. Away by Clough. Up towards Voronkov. Knocks that down well. Does really quite well there. And Hendra failed to control it. Bit more urgency now from Tampines after they've gone a goal down. Mehmedovic. Joel Chu just drops a little. Now Jordan Webb surges forward. He's got Irwan Shah in front of him. These two combine well as well. Well, he was trying to steal in there, Kapitovic. He'll get a corner out of it. Half an hour gone here at the Stadium Nagara, Sultan Hassan Al Bolkiah Stadium. He had to get that right, didn't he? And Najib Tarif. Huzaifa back to Irwan Shah. Now Shah. Flat ball in. It's a good ball, but maybe just a little too much on it. But a lovely ball into the path of Boris Kapitovic. Maybe a slightly heavy touch from him. It was coming at a tremendous pace, but wonderful from Shah Shahiran. Maybe just lacking a little zip at the moment. Maybe missing the industry of Yasser Hanapi, the trickery and the flamboyance of Kyoga Nakamura. Good defending. Shannon Stephen still alive here, and that's excellent goalkeeping from Shazwan. He's asking why that wasn't offside. The flag has stayed down. They all went to sleep at the back there, but Shannon Stephen was excellent in denying Voronkov, and then Shazwan followed up from Abdulazizi's shot. He's shaking his head. He knows he probably should have made that number 2. Let's see if we get a good look at it from here. Shannon Stephen getting his body in the way. That's brilliant from him. And then in the follow-up, he stayed large, didn't he, Shazwan? Now that angle doesn't tell us about the offside. Oh, delightful ball into Azwan Ali. Really nicely done from Nur Ikwan. And on the counter, here comes Joel Chu. Kapitovic wanted the ball. It's not a bad one from Joel Chu. He finds Shah. Bit more end-to-end now. They've managed to get numbers in, and Mehmedovic a little frustrated with that they haven't taken advantage. Irwan Shah. It gets a little ponderous now from Tampines. I'm not quite sure what the thinking was there from Mehmedovic. It's looking a little laboured, I'm afraid, if you're a Tampines Rovers fan. Here's that earlier bit of play from DPMM up the other end. Comes off the goalkeeper, and of course, as per the new rules, it has to stop play and restart in favour of Tampines in this instance. Mehmedovic. Now Jordan Webb. Trying a few tricks, certainly something he's capable of. Mehmedovic finds Shah. Now Kapitovic. Interesting that he's out on this right-hand side rather than being the central man. Away by Yura. try to find Voronkov. Back with Mehmedovic, who's been pulling these strings in that midfield for Tampines Rovers. Well, just muscled off the ball there, wasn't he? Huzaifa by Azwan Ali. That physical approach from DPMM is working a treat at the moment. Abdulazizi. Back to Hanif. Pretty solid start to his career in the senior side. Irwan. Does well here, Webb. Not too many options for Shah. Has to go back. Now Webb. Huzaifa. Joel Chu now on this left-hand side for a little bit, and it's Webb's taken a more central position for now. That's what they have. They have this ability to be a bit fluid. That's a poor ball. Hendra, I think, will be disappointed with that. Huzaifa. Here's Webb. Now Joel Chu. Belated challenge there on Mehmedovic, taken very quickly indeed. And Irwan Shah, not quite what he was looking for. Made a couple of fairly smart saves. Nothing too threatening though so far for Emerson Conceição. Shazwan Buhari has been probably the busier of the two goalkeepers. Najib. Irwan Shah needed a better header than that. Helmi Zambin. Jordan Webb now. That was clumsy from Voronkov, a striker's tackle, or attempted tackle that is. And all that momentum that you could just see Jordan Webb had created is gone. And that's happened a few times now, where they make headway and then it just either breaks down or slowed down. Clough, back to Yura. Pumped forward by Emerson. And again, he's turned his man well here for Voronkov, but he can't get the better of Shahrul. Nice turn from Jordan Webb, and I thought he might have just raised his foot there. Play continues. Got the better of Hendra Azam. It's a good ball over the top here. Kapitovic, again, tight angle. And it's a save, again, you'd expect Emerson to make, but he is taking those shots. Joel Chu. Now Mehmedovic. I've got to say, right now, Jordan Webb, he's just walking slowly. He's almost swapped with Irwan Shah. He's almost a left back at the moment. Irwan is in a far more forward position. Very interesting to see. Shah Shahiran. Kapitovic. That's a good turn from him as well. First time shot in from Huzaifa. Now, does he spring into action here? Jordan Webb. Mehmedovic. Wanted something more for that. They'll get a free kick. Look at that. Again, tough angle. He hit that really well, but it was always going to be hard, again, to score from that angle. Just under 5 minutes or so. Now, Emerson has hurt himself. Was that from the save, I wonder? When he got up from it, seemingly okay. He's going to receive a little bit of treatment here. I have to say, after a little bit of a shaky start to this game, he does look a little bit more solid now, doesn't he? Well, it's late. There's no doubt about it. Charlie Clough on Irwan Shah. That's why we've got this free kick coming up in just a bit. Pensive from Gavin. I think he's got a bit of work to do, hasn't he, at half-time? Huzaifa standing over the ball. It's Mehmedovic, smashes it into the wall. Charlie Clough goes up, as does the flag. There's a man on the ground at the moment. A few stoppages towards the end of this first half. I think it's the skipper. Yeah, it is. Abdulazizi. The second half has got underway. Tanjung Pagar versus Lion City Sailors, and still 1-1 there, by the way. Only 2 games this evening. Tomorrow we have Ballista Khalsa versus Albrechts Nagata. And the next matches are on Wednesday. We've got a couple of games on. Ballista Khalsa against Albrechts. Sorry, that's on Saturday. Then we've got just the one game, Geylang International versus Young Lions. Not a great clearance from Emerson. Mehmedovic to Webb. Out across to Shannon Stephen. Probably hasn't gone quite as attacking as his counterpart on the left, Irwan Shah. Flag had gone up for offside on Voronkov. As you can see, 2 minutes of added time. Webb. Huzaifa. You could see what the thought process was from Kapitovic. Huzaifa. Looking for Irwan Shah. Euro was in the way. Just about a minute plus left. Now Hendra. Oh, that looked offside again, and it is on Voronkov as he attempted to peel away from his man. One final chance perhaps, and they'll get a corner. This will be the last bit of play here in the first half, and can Tampines Rovers draw level off it? I think they're going to be looking at the likes of Kyogo Nakamura to come on in the second half, Tampines, and spark things up in the midfield. And that, again, is yet another set piece that hasn't been executed well by Tampines. And that should be it. Bit of a cagey first half at times. A good start from DPMM. Took some time for Tampines Rovers to get things going. A couple of chances either end. And it was Charlie Clough's header. Floated in to the far corner. That separates the two sides. Off a free kick from Hendra Azam. Half-time here at the Stadium Nagara Hassan Al Bolkiah. It's Brunei DPMM 1, Tampines Rovers 0. We are back at Stadium Nagara, Sultan Hassan Al Bolkiah Stadium for the SPL match between DPMM and Tampines Rovers. 1-0 is the scoreline here at the break. Goal courtesy of Charlie Clough in the 23rd minute. It's been a game of few opportunities. Not the most invigorating of games, shall we say. Been a little bit sluggish at times, both sides, and a bit direct as well. Perhaps indicative of where we are in the season. Right at the start, though, Tampines have had a lot of football under their belts already. Clough launches that towards Voronkov, who, by the way, had a cheeky little run across the halfway line just as the whistle, just before the whistle went. Not particularly spotted. No change of personnel, it would seem. Huzaifa looks up. Joel Chu, who remains the man in the middle, the centre forward, if you will, and Kapitovic still on this right-hand side. Voronkov, who maybe has lost a yard of pace, but he's still been very good on the ball. That will go up for a corner off the head of Norikwan. Now, they haven't had some particularly good corners. This is the man who's got a little bit of attention there, Emerson Conceição, the new goalkeeper for DPMM. Better ball in, much better from Joel Chu. Here's Amirul, who's done well here. And that is at the far post towards Jordan Webb. Shannon Stephen, surely now, that's a great save. Conceição denies a very forlorn looking Kapitovic, who surely thought there he had the equaliser. And that is a very good save from the Brazilian, who has probably put a few doubters to rest for now. Well, that's been the best chance by far for Tampines Rovers. Mehmedovic, well, that will just give them a bit of confidence now. It all started with the corner from Joel Chu, and a good bit of play from Amirul Adli, who stood the ball up for Jordan Webb. We'll hopefully get another look at that in a short while. Here's Yura. Just pressing a little bit further up the pitch now, as they try to clear their lines, DPMM. Here is that opportunity. Webb did all he could, really. Shannon Stephen got a touch on. Well, he hit that fairly well, but it was right at the goalkeeper. I don't want to take anything away from Emerson Conceição, because Charlie Clough was standing right in front of him, went through his legs. You would have seen very little of it. Seen it late as well, but he has done his job. That's all that matters. I think we have to give him credit. The veteran goalkeeper. And he just couldn't quite believe it, could he? Kapitovic. Looked to him a surefire goal. And I wonder if that is the key save in this match. One shot. Mehmedovic, little touch on from Joel Chu. Was there a turn from Kapitovic, and that will result in a booking. No real opposition there from Norikwan. He knew exactly what he was doing. Yeah, he look that again, no doubt about it. Shannon Stephen up towards Kapitovic. Clough will just marshal that. Good ball in again. Well, it needed to be a better ball in, actually. You look at that. Oh, two of them have missed it. Najib with the cross. Well, certainly been a pretty bright start to this second half, mainly Tampines Rovers, though. Jordan Webb. And that's a step too far for Irwan Shah. It's gone quite deep there for Volkov. Not getting much ball so far in this second half. Shah. Webb. And no choice but to go all the way back to Shazwan. Well, there you go. Another foul on Jordan Webb. Joel Chu. Remember, they can start to look to change the young players. Taufik Suparno might add a bit more in a bite up front. Could come on for Joel Chu. Kyoga Nakamura, they want to try and save him as much as possible, of course, with the AFC Cup coming up. And Nakamura is getting stripped off here. So they are going to risk him today. They were concerned about a knock he took, but he is vital to their needs, really. So good in the ball. Can play as a very much a deep-lying midfielder. Can go further up the pitch as well, but he's a magician with the ball. Really was one of the outstanding players of last season when he was with Albrechts Negata. I think it's going to be a double substitution. It is going to be Taufik Suparno as well, as we speculated. Azwan Ali finds Najib Tarif. Forward by the youngster Hanif. Mehmedovic looks up. It's too straight, too easy. So first one up for Tampines Rovers will be Kyoga Nakamura. And I think Taufik Suparno will also be joining him. Double substitution here by Gavin Lee. He feels he just needs to change things up quickly. Not even waiting till the hour mark. To be fair, it's been a fairly decent start to the second half, and now those changes will be made. And Huzaifa, I think he's been struggling a little bit in this game. He will be replaced. He goes off on the other end to be replaced by Kyoga Nakamura, who I think will take the more central role, and Mehmedovic might just switch onto the right-hand side, we'll see. And Joel Chu is replaced by Taufik Suparno. Will have probably, I just want to see whether they'll go 4-3, stick to a 4-3-3 or go to a 4-4-2. It does look like two men now in Taufik Suparno and Kopitovic. And he's got something on it. Wasn't a clean header from Voronkov. Just clutching his face. I think that might indicate where he connected. Or was that on the back of the head? Let's have a look. Trying to close them down here. No, it was probably a clash of the heads with Shannon Stephen. That led to not such a clean header from him. There we go. This is what Nakamura wants to get the ball all the time. Shah. That was perhaps a bit telegraphed. Jordan Webb wins the ball back though. Here one Shah. Nakamura. Goes through the middle there. Oh, it's a good idea for Taufik Suparno. Shannon Stephen gets up well. He's had a pretty solid game so far, apart from perhaps that goal conceding the ball sandwiched between him and Kopitovic. Oh, and that was putting some pressure for Voronkov on the goalkeeper Shazwan Buhari. A large frame of the DPMM striker causing problems. Najib's put some good balls in today. Yeah, he didn't look, Shazwan there, particularly convincing. Anyway, we'll do there for Charlie Clough. He didn't have that conviction, did he? The Tampines Rovers goalkeeper. No foul from Nakamura. Mehmedovic trying to quick turn there, didn't quite pay off for him. Taufik. Now Nakamura. Good ball in. Kapitovic has just been... couldn't find himself getting between the two central defenders there. Here he is again though, Kapitovic. Plenty of numbers in the box, didn't they? Nakamura with the header back. They have to go all the way to Shazwan. Well, I've got to say, the introduction of the two players hasn't resulted in any quickening of pace of the ball, and it comes here. Oh, not far away. Abdulazizi asked for a corner. It was a little unclear at first, but they have got the corner. He claimed there was a deflection. The official seemed a bit unsure of it, but in the end, it will be a corner for DPMM. Well, if anything, it's DPMM now who are picking up the pace a little, and this is a little concerning for Tampines Rovers. Clough off the crossbar. Well, that could have gone absolutely anywhere. It's still alive here. I think it was Irwan Shah with the header. Well, that was gonna look like it could have been an own goal. Charlie Clough's ball across the face of it, across the 6-yard box. Well, Irwan Shah trying to turn it away, and it almost resulted in a rather embarrassing own goal, but it just went their way, Tampines Rovers. Lovely interchange of passes here, but cut out by Irwan. Nakamura. Now Taufik. He was trying to get that up to Kapitovic, wasn't he? Taufik, Mehmedovic. Now Webb. He's just gone into a slightly deeper role now. Voronkov hasn't got too much support. Goes to Hendra Azam. Now Najib. An important header from Irwan Shah. Lovely play from Jordan Webb. Glides past a man. He's got Mehmedovic. Oh, needed a better ball. Webb. It was hopeful, wasn't it, from him? Asking the referee for a foul that he felt was perpetrated by Azwan Ali. Well, this is the opportunity, and that was the right call. It was indeed a corner earlier. That was the chance earlier for DPMM. This was the other opportunity they had where Irwan Shah, it was a rather strange one, but he's got away with it. But at the moment, they're having the better opportunities. DPMM. So far, they've resisted the temptation to change anything up. DPMM. Now Kapitovic. Mehmedovic, he could have gone for goal himself. Maybe he should have. As Euro puts that out of play. Perhaps a bit unselfish there, too unselfish. He's done well there, Kapitovic, but there was too many DPMM players around him. By the way, we can tell you we're into the 7th minute of added time in the other SPL game on tonight between Tanjung Pagar and Lion City Sailors. And it's still 1-1 in that game. What a great result. What a great start Tanjung Pagar have had. They'll be boosted by that. Here's Nakamura. Now Shah. Just held back there, Helmy. Couldn't quite keep that in. Well, they've changed it up a little bit again here because Jordan Webb has come onto this right-hand side for a bit. He was on the left earlier, of course. Mehmedovic is... out on this right-hand side. He's done well here, Mehmedovic. Needs a good ball in. And Jordan Webb was waiting. He applauds that. Bit of frustration, but getting into some better positions, getting behind the defence. We can tell you that full time has been called and it has ended. Tanjung Pagar 1, Lion City Sailors 1. Better result, you'd imagine, for Tanjung Pagar. Azwan Ali. Stopped in his tracks by Sharul. Was there a little off the ball incident? The referee has waved play on. Now, was there something a little cheeky? Azwan's been in a lot of challenges today. Got to get up here and get back. Now, Abdulazizi, he looks up for Voronkov. He's on his own, really. Oh, you're going to the corner in the 68th minute, and that's because he had absolutely nothing on. He's done well to get a corner, and they will make their first change. DPMM. Suhaimi Sulau is on for the youngster Hanif Farah. I think he's fairly solid today, hasn't he? Hanif. Well, the crowd show their appreciation for what he's done. Again, that's a good save. Oh, the flag. Referee had blown the whistle. Wouldn't have counted anyway. Again, took an age because of the substitution, which we're getting confirmation of now. was a powerful header from Charlie Clough. I think there was a little foul along the way on, was it Jordan Webb? I've got to say, didn't see that much on it, and that's why I think Charlie Clough's making the point to the referee. Anyway, it was straight at Shazwan. Here's Taufik. He's getting a lot of close attention here. And he's not too happy with that, is he, Norikwan? Or Najib, rather. And actually, Taufik did well just to hold the ball up as long as he could. He was waiting for that little bit of contact. Not a bad ball in. Yura is in the way. Well, what was that? And that has gone out for a corner. I think Hendra was he? Sorry, it was the new man in, Suhaimi. I think he was just pointing at the lights there for a second, as if to say they got in his way. Oh, and Amrul Adli just couldn't get anything on it. About 20 odd minutes left here for Tampines. He's done well there, Emerson. Crowd beginning to be won over here. One very good stop so far in the second half that denied what looked to be a certain goal from Kapitovic. Irwan Shah. Problem is for Tampines, they don't have many attacking options on the bench. They've brought on really the only two that they could in terms of giving them something a little bit different in the attacking sense. Away by Clough, up towards Abdul Azizi. Well, they're seeing a bit more of the ball here, Tampines Rovers. Are they doing enough with it? Jordan Webb. Still Webb. Good ball in. Kapitovic, can he get out of his feet? And Charlie Clough does brilliantly to deny the Montenegrin. Webb. Well, certainly looked like a few bites at him. He's still going. Jordan Webb, that's got to be a foul. And he was waiting as well, wasn't he? Suhaimi seems to have just struggled to get to the pace of the game at the moment. And Jordan Webb got the better of him there. He followed Webb around. And yeah, it was almost inevitable that there was going to be a foul, as we see here. And like any good player, you're just going to wait, aren't you? You're going to wait and wait for that challenge to come in, and it's in a good position here. Now, this is Nakamura territory, and this is Mehmedovic territory. You'd think it would favour the right-footed Mehmedovic. And should they get this in now, Tampines Rovers, we are hopefully set for a grandstand finish here. Can he lift it over the wall? Mehmedovic, it's lifted it over the bar as well. That's not good enough. Better for him. From him, you would think. Now, here's an interesting change. Coming up for Tampines Rovers. They need a goal, but they're bringing on a central defender in Dan Bennett. Shannon Stephen goes off. I think that means that Irwan Shah becomes right back. And Sharul, of course, who can play left back. He moves across to that side. So a bit of a shift around here. Stalwart, isn't he? Dan Bennett's been in his 40s now, but still one of the fittest members around. Here's Mehmedovic. Also has that physical presence, hasn't he, Dan Bennett, to maybe take good care of Voronkov. Oh, Webb wanted the ball back from Tofik. Here's Shah. Oh, could he have, again, fired off a shot? Clumsy from Nakamura. Into the final 15 here. Been a couple of times where you felt that perhaps Tampines could have taken the shot earlier. DPMM about to make another change. Irwan Shah switches it up. Great control from Sharul. Now Webb. Nakamura. Lovely turn from Nakamura. As one saw what was going to happen. Mehmedovic scoops it over, and that is shepherded out. Second change for DPMM. Abdulaziz Tamit comes on. For Hendra Azam. I think that's just to shore things up, isn't it? Yeah, I think that will just to be consolidate the position that they've got. And to tell you what, Aswan has been involved, and he's just literally come on. Just come on. That's the first thing he's done. Abdulaziz Tamit. Well, quite the introduction. G. Lechman having a bit of a chat. Nothing much in it, really. We're going to enter the final 10 shortly. Can Tampines Rovers get an equaliser? Or can DPMM put this to bed? Shah. Yura read that well. Irwan Shah. Now Nakamura. Webb on that left-hand side. Wasn't much in that, was it? Here's Helmi Zambin. Looking to clear that out towards Voronkov. Not a very good clearance. Nakamura. Wonder whether he'll just go a little bit further up the pitch here. Well, I was working on the game where Tampines were playing in the AFC Cup in their last game. And of course, I did mention that they are playing again very soon. They were up against Kaya in the Philippines, and they just struggled, didn't they, against, I said, not a good side. Oh, and it was just a little too far away from Kapitovic. Rolled across the face of the goal by Mehmedovic. A little bit too much pace for him. In that game as well, they were chasing a goal. Oh, sorry, they were trying to get a goal at the end. It was 0-0 in the end. Now, this is what happened earlier. This is why they were clashing. Mehmedovic just taking exception to Abdulaziz Tamit. No rush at the moment from the keeper. They're just going to start eating that time away, aren't they? He wants a little bit more from his players. Talking of AFC Cup, they are at home to Shan United of Myanmar on Tuesday evening. Webb. Again, Nakamura is capable of so much better. I talked about missing the industriousness of Yasser Hanapi. They need that kind of player buzzing around. He's full of energy. Always ticking away, thinking of trying to change things up, and busy player. And as Gavin Lee told me before the game, they are very difficult to plan without him. He's got a number of games more to serve out his very long suspension. Well, that kind of sums up the game we've had here this evening. It hasn't been particularly engrossing, not of the highest quality, but it is also the first game of the season for DPMM, and you could argue that they're missing quite a few regulars as well, this Tampines side. At least 3 or 4 who would have otherwise started. Everyone just stopped there. They thought the ball had gone out of play with Irwan Shah. It hasn't. Taufik, no one is on the end of it. Can they score here? Well, again, it just seemed a bit of indecision. Just a bit of hesitation from both the goalkeeper and Kapitovic as to who was going to get to that ball first. Emerson, is he saying he wants to change? Well, he's a colourful character. It was a ball just floated across there. They both just seem to not be sure what to do next. I'm not quite sure why. I think he's indicating he might be dizzy. They have got one more change to make if they want. I'm seeing movement on the bench, but unfortunately for Emerson, it's not a goalkeeper who's going to come on. We're going to see the introduction shortly of Razimi Ramli. Oh, he's done well here for Runkov. Oh, this could be one of the all-time great goals of the SPL. What a strike there from Andrei Voronkov. Individual brilliance from the Belarusian. And that is the final nail in the coffin tonight. What an excellent goal that was. He took on that defence and he came out on top. And that was why he was the top scorer last season. Andrei Voronkov, take a bow. He had a lot to do. Got past first Amar Ludley, then Dan Bennett, past Shazwan Buhari, and got it in between the other two defenders in Sharul Sazali being the other one. And Shah Shahiran. Excellent goal. And that surely is it now. Well, we talked about Emerson feeling dizzy. We're giddy with excitement here. That goal, brilliant from Voronkov. They were about to bring on another striker, Razmi Ramli. They're still going to do it. Well, that might have taken a bit out of Nakamura. Didn't look good, that one. He wants to get on with it. Credit to him. Lovely bit of footwork there from him. It was a clumsy challenge. Come flying in like that. Abdulaziz Tamit. Wasn't the greatest challenge, but he's okay. Now, Abdulaziz is off. It's a like-for-like change. Razimi Ramli is on for Abdulaziz. Here's Webb. Oh, was there a shove? Again, he's not really protesting it too much. He's just a bit frustrated, I think, more than anything else. Jordan Webb. Oh, that's clumsy. That's not great from Mehmedovic. He probably will get a card for that on Aswan. I think that's pure frustration from him. Nakamura's also saying, well, how come Tamit didn't get a card earlier for the challenge on me? Yeah, it has. There have been some pretty bad challenges in parts of this game. Abdulaziz, who's on the receiving end, was actually dishing it out himself. Well, that goal by Voronkov will be, I'm sure, played again and again. Fantastic from him. Four minutes of added time. And you'd think at this point, the best Tampines could hope for is a consolation, unless something very extraordinary happens here. And they just haven't really had their shooting boots on today, have they? Oh, that is looking nasty. Was that a knee to the face? I'm not sure that was intent. It's a straight red for Taufik. It's all going very, very wrong for Tampines Rovers. I think Abdulaziz Tamit has perhaps played that up a little bit. Lechman felt he had no choice. Now, it was clumsy. It looked like he was getting a bit of payback. Oh, there was an elbow in there. But I'm not sure how much connection there was to the face, but there was an elbow. And you can't do that. You can't lean in with the elbow, even if perhaps he didn't quite connect as cleanly as was originally thought. I do feel that Abdulaziz Tamit is making a bit of a meal of it. There was connection. There was connection. We're not playing that down. He rolled around about 4 times. I'm generally of the opinion, the more rolls, the more you're just trying to draw attention to it from the referees and for him to take action. But Taufik Suparno has gone. So a bad evening has got even worse. And that happened right in front of Gavin Lee. And we'll be having a little interview with him after the match, and I'll be asking him for his thoughts on that. So do stay tuned. But he's still on the ground, Abdulaziz. Stretch it off. Not sure that's quite warranted. Well, what you're seeing on the ground right now is Mustafik and Adi Pennock having a little chat about the challenge. It's all pretty friendly at the moment. Well, he's been involved in the wars ever since he's come on, Abdulaziz Tamit. It's been feisty. It normally is between title contenders. There's our foul on Voronkov. We're going to have obviously more than the 4 minutes now. Well, they're not having any of it at the moment. It is frustration. In that corner, here's Webb. One final effort, perhaps. Stolen back by Razimi. Here's Voronkov. He's going for it. Voronkov. Plenty of power, but not quite the accuracy. And the referee has seen enough. He's played only a minute more of time. G. Lechman. And 1 goal in either half. First from Charlie Clough in the 23rd minute. A floating header into the far corner off a free kick from Hendra Azam. And then, 5 minutes before the end, a wonderful individual goal from this man here, who dribbled his way through Andrei Voronkov. And in the first big meeting of 2 leading contenders for the SPL 2020, it is Brunei DPMM who have come out on top. And they have defeated Tampines Rovers by 2 goals to 0.